Hey guys, welcome to our weekly FlexForce team calls every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm super excited about the call tonight. Thank you. Special shout out. I'm looking at everybody right now. I love seeing new faces and I love seeing you guys on live. It is so important to be on live because A, pretty much nobody watches the recordings, and two, there's just a different energy about being on live. There's nothing that super fun about watching a recording. There's always great information, but there's just nothing like being on live. So I appreciate all of you guys that made it a priority, communicated it with your family, and made it happen. So let's go ahead and get into it. So here is where we're at for January Success Club, and I'm really proud of the improvements that we've made from last week. It's a lot, like a big leap, almost 30 lives changed of a difference, and the points are lagging. They're like 2 or 3 days behind. So amazing job. Some of you guys, are hitting your biggest numbers ever, and we have so many new girls who have hit Success Club, and I just think that is absolutely amazing because you're already putting stock in your business, and I think that's awesome. So special shout out to Hillary Baker and Rachel Corbo, who hit Success Club today officially, and well, it hasn't updated, it's not official, but for their first time. So I think that's amazing, and I'm proud of you. And just friendly reminder, to hit Success Club, you do also have to have 90 PV on HD. Easiest way is Shakeology, or 3 boxes of bars is 90 PV on HD. You do have to have an HD order in order to qualify for Success Club in corporate's eyes, aka prizes and like summit stuff and all that jazz. Okay, shout out to people that have been doing the consistency invites, and we're going to talk more about this today, but I am going to be just doing a special shout out for consistency, because putting in this work consistently is what gets you up on this board, like up on this side, like the people over here, like consistent. So shout out to you people. We'll talk more about that tonight. 24 new coaches added this week, and a special shout out to Alyssa, who added 3 coaches today and made me update the board like 5 minutes before we started. It's amazing. There's still time to qualify for our Diamond Retreat, which is in April in Myrtle Beach. It's beautiful. I've started booking things. The place is booked and getting training set and fun excursions and stuff. You have until Valentine's Day to hit Diamond. Again, anybody can do that. It's 12 people in your organization, not a lot of people at all, and then hold it for 6 weeks. February is Team Cup month. Get on a Team Cup. There's nothing like crazy. There's no requirements. Like anybody can be on a Team Cup. You have to be ready to show up for your business. And then there's a Morning Meltdown 100 test group contest happening. You do have to be on a Team Cup team, and all of the requirements and all that jazz is in the back office, so you can read that over. Literally anybody can get in that test group. It's like an even playing field. I'm definitely shooting for it, as long as there's not restrictions. But it's gonna be awesome. Like Jericho's like definitely one of my favorite trainers. Summit tickets are on sale for a few more days. You guys don't need to hear me harp about how important Summit is. Like, keep your business open, show your people that your business is important, and get to Summit. Pay attention to the team page. Every Thursday we'll do a lead generator. I'll help you craft a post, and I'll do one as well following that outline, so you can see some examples for like storytelling and just getting people into your pipeline, paying attention to you. Remember that anyone who hits Success Club gets one of these super cute cups that would look so adorable with your Energize for hitting Success Club. It's available for the whole downline. And mark your calendars. I'll just keep this up on the announcements until it happens. But next super weekend is April 12th, 13th, or 14th, one of those days. So make sure that you're like prepared for that. Like, don't have work scheduled and, you know, like, or request that off. Like, make it a priority. Live events are so important. I'm so itchy. It's so dry here. And way to rock the sneak peek, guys. I'm not going to harp on this too much, but I was really proud of the people who are adding people in, and I could see, because it asked when they add that, when people get added, who invited them, so I could see who was using the sneak peek to grow their business. And I want everybody to know, if you didn't like turn people out from the sneak peek, doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you or anything wrong with the sneak peek. It's that you just need to get more people in there. And we're going to be doing it every 2 weeks. So the more you're talking about it, you know, like, that was probably the first time you really like put that out there, that we were doing that and invited to that, I hope. And we're hopefully talking about it on your stories. And the more you're doing that every 2 weeks consistently, that will build. And the more people you have in there, the more people will, the more will turn into yeses. And just so everybody knows, it will just always be in that group. So you can be sending that link at any time. Next week, at the end of next week, is when I'll take everything down from the wall and stop accepting members. But you can still send the link, and then we'll do the same routine as last time, because it's very effective and super fun. I got a lot of texts like, this is so fun, it's so simple. And lots of good feedback from the new coaches too. So every 2 weeks, like clockwork, it will be happening. So the next one, let me just give you some dates here, will be February 7th and 8th. We'll always do a Thursday, Friday, unless I tell you otherwise. There will be a different, the following one will not be on Thursday, Friday, because I will be gone, and it will be, I don't want to bank on me having to go live at certain times when I'm like with family. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Basic requirements for Team Cup, prizes, and this one is like a cute little 10. I tried to upload it again right before this, didn't work. Earn prizes, move your business forward, literally no brainer, get on a Team Cup. Okay. Coach Summit, July 11th through the 14th, and shout out to everyone who has gotten their ticket. And if you get when you get your ticket, make sure you add your name to that file in FlexForce Fam, so I can shout you out. Okay, let's get into it and talk about exploding your business through inviting. And this is not a secret sauce. This is nothing crazy that I'm going to teach you tonight, but it is something that will make a really big difference in your business if you do it consistently. I want you to, you know, this is going to help you be the coach you want to be, and that you, I don't know how to say this without coming across like kind of rude, but I don't mean it rude. I want you to be the coach you think you are, and I'll talk more about this, and concentrate on the yeses and put in work efficiently. And that this is something that is so simple. I'm going to take you through these steps, and I hope you have a notebook to write this down. And because you guys, this is, I'll get into it. Okay. I don't need to get tough love right now. Okay. Why this notebook method? So there's a huge disconnect, and this is what I kind of mean. There's a huge disconnect between people thinking that we're doing the things and actually doing the things. Like, so many times, people say to me like, Rachel, I've invited everyone. And then I go look at their social media, and I'm like, you have 4,000 followers. You've invited 4,000 people this month? Like, there's no way. So in our mind, it can feel very much like we're doing the things and doing the work. But at the end of the day, are you? I'm not there. I'm not you. And that's one of my biggest downfalls as a leader, is I'm very trusting and believing, but I want you guys to know that this business is the law of sowing and reaping. Like, do you guys agree? Like, if you plant a seed outside and it needs water and sunlight, right? And if it gets those two things, it will grow. It doesn't matter who goes to water it. It doesn't matter if it's me, if it's my next door neighbor that's elderly. It doesn't matter if it's Leo. It will grow. It doesn't discriminate. So this business is the same. I mean this so nicely. There is no one special enough to break the system. It's just oftentimes that you think you're doing the things and you're really not. So it's super simple. This is so duplicable. And that's my favorite things to do in this business, simple and duplicable. And the notebook doesn't lie. Like the notebook doesn't give a shit, you know? Like it's like the honey badger, it doesn't give a shit. Like it's either like full of invites or it's not. So and I'll walk you through that if you haven't seen the video about it. And it will explode your business. It's like statistically proven. Not really, but it's a numbers game. Okay, how it works. First thing is you need to decide how you would like to be invited to something. You know, like what kind of invite would you like to get? So I use this example, and sometimes that's kind of hard to think about, to decide on, but there's really two types. One is direct, and that does not mean salesy, just means direct. And the other is like, I call it a fluffier invite, like getting to know. I don't want to say that because the other one sounds like heartless. The other one is fluffier. Okay, so you have to decide which one you would rather have. Like if somebody messages you and you know they want something, let's say it's another coach, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a better example. Let's say like a family member messages you on Facebook and they're like asking you 65 questions, like about your kids, about, you know, the weather where you are, about your job, and they're asking you all these things. Think about, does that annoy you? Like you're like, get to the point, why are you messaging me? Or do you like that? And neither one is wrong. I don't like that. I think it's super annoying, and I'm like, get to the point, like, why did you message me? Like, I don't like have all day. And so like, that really drives me nuts. Like when people are like, how's Leo? Like, looks like your business is doing awesome. Do you miss teaching? I'm like, what do you actually want? You know, and I'd rather them just like, get on with it. So I've got, you know, like, and I get approached by a lot of different companies to like rep their brands and stuff. And I definitely like prefer the ones that are just straightforward with the facts. Neither one is wrong, but you just have to think about what you would like, and that's how you're going to invite. Does that make sense? No one is nodding. I hope it makes sense. Then number 2 is you need to decide how big and important your goals are and how quickly you would like to get there. Okay? If you are looking like to rank advance quickly, if you're looking to build substantial income, then keep that in mind. That would be a faster paced goal. If you are doing this there's a difference. I don't like calling it hobby coaching because I did this as a side hustle for a while, but I still wanted to create full-time income. But if you're not looking to create full-time income, then I would consider that a slower paced goal. No, again, it's totally up to you. It's your business. Neither are wrong. Step 3 is you guys need to get a notebook. Like maybe it's just because I was a teacher, but like that is really scary to me. How many of you guys told me you don't have a notebook? I'm like, what do you take notes on for team calls? Get a notebook. I am probably going to make team like flex notebooks because I think this is fun. This makes inviting fun. And then step 4, and I'm going to go into this more in detail, is every day is you're just going to craft one daily invite, and then it's copy, paste, send, write down their handle. Copy, paste, send, write down their handle. Copy, paste, send, write down their handle repeatedly. And then anybody who responds goes into your tracking system. So let's get into that. There's also a learning curve that you guys need to keep in mind. There are two ways to look at, I should have brought my notebook in here, it's on my island. So that's where I was inviting today. There are two ways to look at your notebook. You can look at it positively or negatively, and you guys know I definitely prefer people to be positive, but you can look at it as I'll start with a negative. You can look at it as I invited all of these people and only 3 people responded. Wah. Okay, or you can look at it as I invited X amount of people and I'm so excited 3 people responded. And then you can pour into those people, and those are 3 people you didn't have in your pipeline before. But if you were before inviting 3 people a day, okay, I invite 64 people a day. That's how many spots. I need to get my notebook in a second, but I have a different notebook here. If you're inviting, okay, so I invite 64 people a day and I get roughly 7 to 10 responses maybe. I'd say it's really 3 to 10. It varies. So if I was only inviting 3 people a day, like some people are doing and some people are not inviting every day, the statistics just aren't there. Like to get me to my Success Club goals, to my recruiting goals, to my team goals, my financial goals, the numbers aren't going to be there if I'm only inviting 3 people a day. Does that make sense? Because statistically then, like maybe one person is going to respond sometimes. Like not every day. But I want people in my pipeline because not everybody you get in your pipeline is going to turn into a yes right away. But it's going to get more people into your pipeline. You're projecting energy into the universe, like showing the universe what you want and what you're willing to work for. Hold on. And then it's simple then to re-invite monthly. You just turn the notebook back a month and you can re-invite those people that haven't joined you or never responded. If they're still interacting on your social media, they are still a fan and you get to re-invite them. It's a wash, rinse, repeat type of business. The whole business is. And this will compound over time if you are consistent. And okay, hold on. So where do the invites come from? People watching your stories, people who like your posts, so please, for the love of God, be posting, and your followers and friends. Don't forget about Facebook. So many people are like, forget about Facebook, and I guarantee you have like hundreds of friends on there who actually aren't your cold market because you're already friends with them on Facebook. There is no way that you've invited all of your followers and friends consistently every month. There's no way. So please don't come to me and say, Rachel, I've invited everybody and everybody said no, because I'm going to go look at your social media and I'm going to say, I'm going to go to your Facebook and see how many friends you have. And then I'm going to go to your Instagram and I'm going to see how many followers you have. And I'm going to put those together. And for a lot of you guys, you have thousands of followers. I'm going to say, like, even if you only have 2,000 followers, I don't give a shit if you have 400 followers. I'm going to say you invited 400 people in the last month. I honestly don't believe you. I'm going to say, show me your notebook. And there's just no way. So the notebook doesn't lie because you're putting down people's names. And like then it's objective, because oftentimes, and I've fallen into this too, I feel like I've invited so many people, but then when I look, I don't know at the end of a power hour. This is objective. My notebook fits, I split it in half, and I fill each side, and I write the date at the top, and I fill each side, and that gets me 64 invites. 64 every day. 64 for a month. I'm going to even just do February. 64 times 28 is 1,792 invites. You better believe I'm going to freaking slay February with that many invites. Not everybody is going to join the month you invite them. most people will ignore your invites, and that's okay. When we implement things in our business, and I want everybody to listen to what I'm about to say right now. When we implement things in our business, it takes 3 to 6 months for that to have a compounded effect. 3 to 6 months. If you keep up consistency. So you will have immediate results from this if you are consistent, but think about where you'll be in April and think about where you'll be in June and July. If you're sending you're flirting with 2,000 invites a month, you will slay. Like, you will rank advance constantly, like you will, because you're putting it out there. You're finding your tribe. You're finding what works for you. But if you're not doing that every day, you're just going to create inconsistency in your business. So let's talk about crafting an invite. So again, think about how you want to be approached. Once you get to the invite part, I make it vague and simple. I don't want you to try to fix people or offer unicorns like, this has changed my life, I lost X amount of weight, I'd love to do, like, help you do this too. Like, don't do that. Just keep it vague. I have examples down here, and I did one. This was awesome. I shared a recipe, and I said, and I don't have this on here, so I'll tell you what I said. And I said, I hope you loved anyone who liked my post, and I also shared it on my stories. I'm like, I hope you loved my lettuce wraps recipe. That's one of my favorite parts about my virtual gym is the recipe shares, the recipes we all have, because you guys fixate holy recipes. That is one of my favorite parts about my virtual gym. And so anyways, I say that's one of my favorite parts about my virtual gym, which made me think to offer you a spot. Would you be interested? So a lot of people ignore. Okay? It's fine. Some people will outright say, no, thank you. And then I say, no, and because I always put at the end, if not, no big deal. I say NBD. And I say, no problem. What are you up to for workouts? Because if they say nothing, I'm like, then why don't you want to join my virtual gym? Like, I push back a little bit, friendly, but I push back. So they might say no thank you right away. And some people are going to say, what are the details? And then ding, 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 you're going to add them in your tracking system, and then you're going to use their combo guide, and you're going to ask them about their goals. Okay? Now they're going to be on a follow-up system because they've shown interest in what you have to offer. And those people who ignore you, they're not really ignoring you. They're going to pay way more attention to what you talk about for your virtual gyms and like your team and all the things. They're going to, and the no thank yous, they're going to pay way more attention to you on your stories and on your social media, so that when you invite them next month and the month after, they will eventually join. So keep it vague and get them to ask, like, what are the details? Some people will come out right away and say, what does it cost? And I'm like, girlfriend, it totally depends on your goals. Because it does. We have about 75,000 packages. Okay, step 2 is to write down their handle for accountability, because again, the notebook doesn't lie. You either did send 64 or 30 invites or you didn't. So the goal is, if you have a faster paced goal, remember I asked you to think about that, then you need to be doing the double columns like I am. The 60, it depends on your notebook, but it's like 60 to 64. If you have a slower paced goal, you need to be filling up half. You need to be sending like 30 invites a day. And you guys, it's just a copy paste send. It's just a matter of sitting down and doing it. And I'm sorry, I totally can't see the chat, so I will get to the chat post presentation. Hope you guys like my little PowerPoint today. I started talking about this. Fill your notebook based on your goals. So if you're newer and you don't have a huge following yet, do that one side. But if you're using both, or if you have big goals and you're just starting out, use both sides. Like, I'm going to use, everyone knows her as Kate Morgan, who became a 6-figure earner very quickly. She's been a coach for about a year. She's a 6-star coach and she slays. She hits Success Club over 100 consistently. She retired from teaching like 6 months into the business. Like, she slays because she does this notebook method. Not because we're friends, like she would not mind me saying this, like not because she's anything special, not because she's a unicorn, but because she works hard. And she did stepping out of the gate. She just made no apologies for her, no excuses for her goals, and got after it and did the double side of the notebook. Step 4 is the fun part, is to post your picture of your notebook in the Flex Force fam check-in every day. Like, I do mine because I'm doing this with you. I think a lot of people think that I don't really work the business that much because I'm the rank I am. I just manage the team and like collect a paycheck. No, that is not true. I'm in the trenches. I'm inviting. I'm following up. I do things for the team, but that does not occupy the majority of my time. So I want you guys to know that I'm doing it with you. So you just comment your picture below that, and I keep that consistency tally. That's where that will come into play. 1 week of consistency, 7 for 7 with your invites, will get you coffee on me. I'll send you a Starbucks gift card. And 1 month of consistency, which is also 80%, so it'll look a little bit different it'll be like 24 out of 28 days. For February, we'll get you a Lululemon gift card from me. And like I said, I'm going to probably get Flex notebooks made because that will just be fun, I think. And I like fun things. Okay, at the end of the day, yes, oh yeah, I can. Okay, it's honestly up to you to do your crap. This business is so simple. It's so simple to send invites, guys. It takes me, I send 64 invites. It probably takes me 20 minutes. It's so simple for me to get it done, but it's so simple that it's easy for me to skip it. And letting it go one day can turn into a lot of days. And I see so many excuses, guys, like about why you can't do invites and why it's not working for you. Like, you can't break the system. Like, it's just the secret is to be consistent and to talk to more people. I think some people think that, like, because I do this full time now, like, oh, Rachel does this full time, so it's easy for her. And that's bullshit, because I did this for 3 years while I was working full time, while I was a new, very overwhelmed mom, while I really wanted to leave my job, while we moved twice. Like, everybody has circumstances. It's up to you to decide if your circumstances are worth changing or not. And you guys, when I really wanted to leave, and Scott gave me a huge financial goal to reach before I could leave teaching, I was at work all day and then taking care of, by myself, essentially taking care of a really difficult baby. And then at the end of the day, I was tired. And I didn't want to send invites, and I didn't want to empty my inbox. I didn't want to do those things, but I freaking did it anyways, because I didn't want that to be my life forever. I saw a quote a couple weeks ago, and it just has stayed with me. Entrepreneurship is putting in the work for a couple of years that most people won't, to have the life that most people can't. Like, you have to decide if you want that. I did. So it was worth it. I do not have to, like, my days aren't as, like, strenuous as they were before. But you guys, I didn't make excuses. A lot of you guys just didn't know me, like, when I was, like, in the thick of it, because I really had to, like, rebuild the team and whatever. It just didn't really matter. But I didn't make excuses. I just showed up and did it anyways. I skipped things that I knew weren't going to move my business forward. I would communicate with my spouse. Kind of going off on a tangent, but I'm just saying, like, you have to decide to make your business a priority. And it honestly just starts with inviting. And inviting is so simple. And I gave this analogy the other day, and I like it. Like, You remember like when you're in elementary school and like Sally was having a birthday party and it was like going to be at Chuck E. Cheese and you really wanted to go, but you don't know if you're going to go unless you get an invite in your backpack, right? Like you don't just show up at Sally's birthday party because you don't know the details. You don't know what theme her birthday party is. You don't really know if it's going to be at Chuck E. Cheese because she's 5 and she might be spewing bullshit at school. You know, you don't know. You need an invite in your backpack. You need to be putting invites in people's backpacks that follow you on social media and give them the details of joining your team or your virtual gym or both. And that's your job. It's your party. People have to know that they're invited. And not everybody who's invited to a birthday party goes. And that's okay. No one's sitting at their birthday party like, man, I really am sad that Becky didn't come to my birthday party. Like they're looking around like, look at the people that did come to my birthday party. You know, I just thought of that part. That was pretty good. And I want everyone to keep in mind, your team will produce a fraction of what you do. There's like a John Maxwell like thing, like 80%, 20%, but I don't know it, so I don't want to mess it up. So you have to choose to set that example for your current team or your future team. That's why I put up big Success Club numbers and why I recruit heavily. And I've always done those things. Even before I was coaching full-time, that is irrelevant. And I've always invited and followed up a lot because I know that I need to pave the way for the team. But you have to do that for your team too. And that decision is honestly just up to you. And you have to decide. Okay, so let me go through. Oh, good. Allie, I'm so glad you like that analogy. I'm going to go through it and make sure I don't have any questions here. If you have a question, put it in the chat right now while I'm reading. You can always find out where the super weekends are in the Coach FAQ. As they get closer, people will register their events, and they're always like all over. Sometimes they're a little bit of a drive. They're worth it. It's like just a couple hour event. Yeah, seeing the notebook full is satisfying, and just know that you have to decide, you know, like what's an income producing activity. Like if you only have, there were some days, you know, I was working full time, had Leo, whatever. There were some days that I couldn't work the amount of time that I wanted to get the things that I wanted to get done. Okay. So you have to decide. This is why I recommend doing a brain dump list and like making a list of all the things you want to get done. And then you need to look at that list, and I write notebook invites on there every single day. I didn't always write notebook, but I always would write invites. And then you have to decide what is an income producing activity, because if you don't have a lot of time, you know, like making graphics should not be what you're spending your time on. It honestly shouldn't be checking into the team page, although I do post important things in there. But, you know, like it shouldn't be, definitely is not scrolling social media. Income producing activities are inviting, connecting, and following up, and that's it. Those are income producing activities, and that's why they're the vital behaviors. So that's why you have to make that a priority. And like, I know for me, I know my day is accomplished if I get that notebook invite done. Like, I know there will be messages in my inbox tomorrow. They might almost all be no's. And you guys, you know what is super frustrating is I have done 3 or 4 trainings in the Beachbody Champs page. So many coaches follow me, and I really look at everybody's profile, and I can't tell they're coaches. And then that takes up a lot of my time. And it's not ideal, but it's just the way of like the business. I don't know. Like we all have to weed through people to find our people. Okay, everybody likes my notebooks idea. That's good. I write down, Jen, you write down everybody's handle that you invite. And then you can either, like Kate Morgan, circles the people who respond. I just only am responding to people if I have my tracking system open, and I just put them right in there, but that's up to everybody. Yep, okay, good. Jacqueline had talked about that. Yeah, Casey, you don't. That's why I don't do that. But you need to put them in your tracking system then, so that you know that they responded. Okay, I'm glad everybody likes my, like, if you come to me, Morgan and Casey are like the example, because they came to me and they're like, I've invited everybody. And I literally went to their social media and I told them an exact number of people that they should have sent invites to. And they were like, okay. Okay, so if you go with a fluffy invite, are you counting the initial reach out or the second message with the actual invite? I would only count actual invites. So that means you need to also be intentional about who you're connecting with. And you need to have a system in place, very simple, like be connecting with 30 people every day and then be sending 30 invites, and you can just split it down the middle. That's how I would do it. How far apart do you keep the invites if they're engaging? 1 month. 1 month. Casey, I'm glad your little girl notebook is still 65 invites or 68 invites. That's good. That's good. Oh my God, you guys are talking about Lulu. It's hilarious. Okay, yeah, and everybody, my personally sponsored coaches get a Lulu jacket when they hit Diamond. So everyone needs some Lululemon in their life. And if Lululemon like does not spark your joy, like we can negotiate a different gift card. Just I know most people like. Lululemon. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. Oh, that's really helpful. I didn't know that, guys. If you're inviting from stories, if you swipe back, it shouldn't close. That's good. Okay. Samantha, that's amazing. I love the color coding. Great. So if you guys have any last questions, put them in here. But honestly, it's just super simple. Look how I'm like really flushed because I'm really passionate about, I told you guys I was going to get passionate about this because our business is so simple. It's just the fact of doing the work consistently. And I am where I am in the business because I've done the work consistently over the course of the past 4 years. I don't make excuses when we're on vacation. I don't make excuses when it's inconvenient. I don't make excuses when I didn't feel good at the beginning of this pregnancy. I just don't make excuses. And I think that is evident with my results in the business. So if you find yourself making excuses, and I'm not going to judge you and I'm not going to like yell at you unless you want me to, but I'm not going to do those things because it's your business. It's up to you to decide what you want to do with it in your circumstances. Circumstances are temporary. But I know in the moment, a lot of circumstances feel like you feel legitimate in why you can't do something. But at the same time, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. And it's really up to you to decide what you do with it. And if you want to move your business, if your business is important to you or not. Like I said, that entrepreneurship quote is really true. And it's, at the end of the day, it's totally up to you. It's just not fair to compare yourself to someone else getting the results in the business that you want to get, but not be willing to put in the work that they're putting in. You know what I mean? Like the same thing with fitness. Like you can't look at, and people that look at us and think like, oh, well, it's easy. Do you hate that when people say that? Like, well, it's easy. I hate when people say this to me, oh, Rachel, it's easy for you because you're small. Like, that's bullshit. Like, I still have to put my ass through a workout, through the program. I have to eat clean. Like, there's no one like making it easier for me because I'm 5 foot tall. Like, it's irrelevant. Like, I still have to put in the work. Anyways, it's the same thing in the business. This business does not discriminate. The people at the top I've met a lot of people at the top of the company and none of their feelings would be hurt. And I'm about to say this. None of them are special. I'm not special. Nobody is special. It just comes down to work ethic and dedication and consistency. And those things are all a choice. Anybody can have that. And I know in the day-to-day grind, it feels like a grind. I get it. Because I've done it for 4 years. I totally get it. But you guys, be here in a year from now. Like, look back in a year. This time last year, we weren't even having team calls because that wasn't an income producing activity for me. And I literally had to spend this time inviting because that's what I needed to do for my business. And there was not even half of you guys. And I wish I should find some, my income has doubled and that's amazing. You do that for you. Just have that time compound for you. And the sooner you're doing things like this consistently, you guys, I'm going to be honest, on Sunday, I did not want to do this. I did not want to do this, but I knew that I needed to show up for you guys. And guess what? Then my inbox was full today. Not full, but I had more messages in my inbox today because I took the time to do that on Sunday, and hella more people are on their phones on the weekends. P.S. Yes, hashtag do hard things. We can all do hard things. And this business is not hard. I hope Jessie doesn't mind that I share this, but Jessie and I had a come to Jesus at a couple of months ago, and she's she's a teacher, and she's it just took me a long time to understand that this business is not hard. It is not complicated, yet the earning potential is crazy. Whereas teaching, if you have any experience with teaching or know anything about it, then as teachers, we have to work so hard. It's different every day. It's so hard. And we get paid nothing. So it's so backwards. That's not what we've been ingrained to know. But just know, you guys, this business is so freaking simple, and anybody can slay this business. You just have to make the decision to do that and keep your notebook. I promise you will not be disappointed if you're consistently doing it. Now, you can't do it for one day and be like, Rachel, no one has signed up. I'm going to say, show me your last month's worth of notebook invites. You guys, I want to go I want Scott to be alarmed by how many gift cards I'm sending out. That would make my heart so happy. This notebook challenge, it's not really a challenge. It's just, I want to reward you for doing the work and being consistent in your business. So take the challenge and see what you can do in your business. If you do this for 3 months, I promise you, you will be over the moon at where you are. And there are going to be days you don't want to. And you just have to decide right now if you're going to still show up on those days that you don't want to. Challenge accepted. I love it. Okay, you guys, have a great night. If you haven't done your invites, you have plenty of time to do them. And then get your picture of your invites. Make sure you put the date on it for me, so it's a little authenticated. And put it up in the comments every day under the picture, and I'll keep track. But I'm so happy you guys are here live. I really appreciate you. Go have a kick-ass night. Bye.